Good morning, students. Hope you all are good and staying at your home safely. So, students, today I am going to discuss the question answers of the chapter in the Kingdom of Fools. So, the first question which I am going to discuss with you all is, what are the two strange things the Guru and his disciple find in the Kingdom of Fools? So, before discussing the answers with you all, I just want to discuss the questions, the other form of this question. Like the first question is given, what are the two strange things the Guru and his disciple find in the Kingdom of Fools? In this way, the question can be asked like this also. What did the Guru and the disciple find in the city of fools? What things were different in the Kingdom of Fools? What was so strange about the Kingdom of Fools? Or which two things amazed the Guru and his disciple when they arrived in the Kingdom of Fools? So, I have discussed four questions which are come in the form of the same question which I have, which the question is asked. Like, what are the two strange things the Guru and his disciple find in the Kingdom of Fools? So, answer is, the first strange thing observed by the Guru and his disciple find in the Kingdom of Fools is that people slept throughout the day, and even animals didn't work out during daytime. All work was done during night only. And the second strange thing observed by them was that everything cost one dudu, that is the local currency. So, as I have already told you, that the two strange things the Guru and his disciple found in the Kingdom of Fools are that people are supposed to sleep during the day, even the animals, and work only after sunset. And the second was everything cost the same, a single dudu. Now, the second question. Why does the disciple decided to stay in the Kingdom of Fools? Is it a good idea? नाउ स्टूडेंट इसका भी आप डिफरेंट तरीके से क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, why does the disciple not want to leave the kingdom of fools? Why was the disciple not interested in leaving the kingdom of fools? And why didn't the disciple want to leave the kingdom of fools? So these are the other form of the same question which is asked in the book. So what is the answer? What can be like the answer? Like we had discussed it in a class, that the disciple thinks of the easy life in the kingdom of fools. He thinks that he could afford all the pleasure of life without worrying about his budget, and even he dreams of enjoying every rich food available, as everything cost one dudu in the kingdom. However, if we see that it is not good idea, as later even events also prove that fools may behave unpredictably and anyone can be in danger anytime. So what is the answer? This is the discussion I have discussed with you all in the class. So the answer could be like so answer is, the Guru does not stay in the kingdom of fools, but his disciple decided to stay back. The reason is that everything costs a single dudu or a rupee, which is so cheap there. Being a great foodie, he will enjoy good and cheap food in ample amount. Living in the kingdom of fools is not a good idea. So far, I think it is because fools are dangerous people. They are highly unpredictable too. No one can guess them or tell them to control them, because beside no one can expect justice in such a kingdom. So this is the answer of the question. So it can be of 2 marks, so you have to write it down. That just don't write the disciple decided to stay in the kingdom of fools because everything is cost of single dudu, and it is not good because it was a kingdom of fools. Just write 2, 3 or 4 more lines in question number 2 for marks 2. Okay, now the third question. Name all the people who tried in the king's court and give the reason for the trial. So, what is the answer according to you? The answer could be like, I am not I'm not dictating you the answer, I'm discussing the answers with you. अभी मैं सिर्फ डिस्कस कर रही हूँ, अभी मैं डिक्टेट भी करूँगी. So the answer would be the merchant, like whose house was being robbed, was the first accused, as we know, because his house walls collapsed and killed the thief. And the next person tried was the bricklayer who built the wall, as it was thought that his bad workmanship created a weak wall. Now the next was the dancer, means that there were four person. The first one, the real merchant whose wall was collapsed, and the second was a bricklayer who was distracted by the jingling sound of the anklet, and it was he was distracted from the anklet, the jingling sound of the anklet of the dancing girl who was going up and down to that street on that day when he was making the wall. Now the next was the dancer girl who was accused and distracting the bricklayer by passing in front of him a dozen times during the day, resulting in poor quality of the wall. Now the next accused was the goldsmith. Now the goldsmith was called the dancer time again and again to deliver the jewelry she had asked to be made but did not deliver it, leading to the distraction of the bricklayer. Now the goldsmith, one by one, they were blaming the things to another person. Now the goldsmith blamed the merchant's father, as he had been making the urgent jewelry for him. So the delaying the finishing of the dancer's jewelry. So as the father was dead, the merchant was finally pronounced guilty. So there were 4 or 5 person in that story who was blaming one by one the other person. The first one, the merchant. The second one was the bricklayer. Third was your dancing girl. Fourth was your goldsmith. But the whole accusation comes to that merchant's father, and the king said that it was merchant's father who has done this, and as the father was dead, so all the things come to the merchant himself, because he has taken all the good and bad deeds, good deeds as well as all the bad sins to inherit from his father. So the answer is the people who are tried in the king's court are the merchant, the bricklayer, the dancing girl, and the goldsmith, and the disciple. So first of all, the merchant is called to the king's court because the wall of his house is so weak that it falls down on the head of the thief while he is coming out of with the stolen things and kills him. The bricklayer is tried because he had built the wall. As he did not build the wall right, so he collapsed. Then the dancing girl, now an old woman, is tried for distracting the bricklayer by the jingling of her anklets. The next was the goldsmith, is tried for delaying the dancer's jewelry, as a result of which she had to walk up and down many times, causing jingling sound. The merchant is produced before the king, and the second time because his father persuaded the goldsmith to finish his order first, thereby delaying the dancer's order. Since the merchant's father died, so the merchant had to be executed in his father's place. In the last, the disciple is tried in the king's court for being fat enough to be fit in that stake. So this is the answers of question number 3. Now the fourth one. The fourth question is, who is the real culprit according to the king, and why does he escape punishment? So student, who is the real culprit? The king applied his weird, means that all the strange logic, like he just converted the day into night and night into day, and all the things to be of one single do. So these are the laws which is made by the foolish king and his ministers. So the king applied his weird logic to come to the conclusion that as a merchant inherit everything from his father, whether it's a good deeds or other bad sins. So it was he should be he should take the share of his father's sin as well, because his father had ordered the goldsmith to make the jewelry in urgent, and that's why the goldsmith was in hurry and was busy in making the jewelry of that rich merchant at that time, and he had not made the jewelry of dancing girl. So according to the king, the merchant was the real culprit. However, as the merchant was too thin to fit on the new execution stake, he escaped execution. So the king concluded that a man fat enough to fit the stake will serve the पर्पस. मतलब कि जो मेन रियल कल्प्रिट के अकॉर्डिंग उनका ये था कि जो एग्जीक्यूशन स्टेक बना है वो उसमें कौन फिट होगा, जो भी जिसकी भी नेक मोटी होगी ही इज़ गोइंग टू फिट इन दैट स्टेक. So he had forgotten the real culprit, and he had called a fat man whose neck is going to be fitted in that stake. So this is the answer. Now the fifth one. What are the Guru's word of wisdom? When does the disciple remember them? So this is the fifth question. What are the Guru's words of wisdom, and when does the disciple remember them? Students, I guess if you have remember the story, so the answer is like, when the Guru comes to know that the place where it had come to stay with his disciple is the kingdom of fools, he immediately decided to leave it. He thinks that it is not safe to live in the company of fools. But his disciple want to stay on for his own personal reason. And what was the personal reason? That he becomes a greedy, because everything was caused of a single doo-doo there. So the Guru, however, tries to change his mind by saying some words of wisdom, and he says, student, you have to write it down in a double inverted comma. They are all fools. They won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next. The disciple remember these words when he is going to be executed. So this is the answer. Next, how does the Guru manage to save his disciple's life? So I guess this is the last in my last video I had discussed with you all. So I will be discussing the answer with you all. Like, the Guru is a man of wisdom. Seeing his disciple's life in danger, he decided to save him tactfully. And now he comes to the execution place and whispers something in his disciple's ear. Then both start to fight to decide who should be executed first. The king gets confused and asks the Guru why each of them wants to die first. The Guru tells him hesitatingly that whoever dies on the stake first will be reborn as the king of that country, and the one who dies next will be the future minister of that country. Now the king gets serious and discusses the matter with his minister, and both decided to free the disciple in his place execute themselves to be reborn as king and minister in the next life. In this way the Guru saved his disciple's life. So student, this is the answer of sixth question, and I guess you all have come to know, and you can write down your answers. And many of the students I have told your answers in the class only, in the WhatsApp class only, that your answer is right. So you can write that answer also, or you can take the help of the video of this video in writing down your answers. So students, just write down your answers in your fair copy, because anytime I can ask a question, I can ask for your copy roll number wise, and on Monday I will be going to start my chapter from Beehive the Little Girl. So students, just do these questions in your fair copy, and there is no extra question for this in this chapter for all of you. Just do these 6 questions in your fair copy only. Students, just take care of yourself, and bye bye.